the last 3 months, because of COVID-19, schools have been shut. I hope that these materials that we present today will be beneficial to students in their final year of secondary or high school.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of Civic Education. In our previous class, we were taught the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and today our subtopic is the 7 core freedoms of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The 7 core freedoms of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Introduction. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly on 10 December 1948 in Paris, France. It was the result of the experience of the Second World War, Cold War, with the end of the war and the creation of United Nations in 1945. The international community vowed never again to allow atrocities like those of that conflict to happen again. World leaders decided to complement the United Nations Charter, that is the agreement, with a roadmap to guarantee the rights of every individual everywhere. The document they considered, and which later became Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR. Here are the 7 core freedoms of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. 1. Right to life, liberty, and security of the person. Right to life, liberty, and security of the person. That is explained as follows. Everyone has right to live and to live in freedom and safety. Everyone has the right to be free from unlawful or arbitrary arrest, detention, or deprivation of his or her liberty. Everyone is entitled to protection against violence, physical injury, threats, and intimidation by state officials or private individuals, group, or institution. 2. Right to non-discrimination, equality before the law, and equal protection by the law. 2. Right to non-discrimination, equality before the law, and equal protection by the law. That means all persons are equal before the law and are entitled to the equal protection of the law, including protection against discrimination on the ground of gender, race, citizenship, sexual orientation, etc. Everyone should enjoy all economic, social, cultural, civil, and political rights on an equal basis. No discrimination of any kind should be made. Everyone has the right to be recognized as a person before the law. 3. Right to freedom of movement and to choose a resident. Right to freedom of movement and to choose a resident. This also means that everyone has the right to come and go as he or she wishes within his or her country. Everyone has the right to live and return to his or her country. This right is subject to very few limitations. 4. Right to freedom from forced labor, slavery, slave-like practices, and servitude. Right to freedom from forced labor, slavery, slave-like practices, and servitude. This means that everyone has the right to be freed from forced labor unless it is a lawfully imposed punishment for a crime. Everybody has the right to be freed from slavery, slave-like practices, including debt bondage, and forced or servile marriage, and servitude. 5. Right to peaceful assembly and freedom of association. 5. Right to peaceful assembly and freedom of association. Everyone has the right to form a trade union or join one that already exists. Everyone has the right to strike as long as it is exercised lawfully. Everyone has a right to organize and to attend peaceful meetings. No one should be forced to belong to a group. 6th, the 6th core freedom. Right to freedom of thought, conscience, or religion. 6th, right to freedom of thought, conscience, or religion. Everyone has the right to practice his or her religion freely, to change it, and to practice it either individually or within people. 7. Right to freedom of opinion and expression. 7th, right to freedom of opinion and expression. Everyone has the right to speak his or her mind, provided it is done in lawful respect of the rights and reputations of others. These include freedom to seek, receive, and impart information. However, in this class, we talk about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and then we made mention of the meaning, and then the 7 core freedoms of Universal Declaration of Human Rights as made by United Nations Organization. Thank you for watching our episode. See you in our next episode. Thank you and stay safe.